Listen, I know you saw the thumbnail of this video, so today I am going to be sharing my version of a creamy aligue pasta. No, it's not one of those things that you want to make on a daily basis because it's not really the healthiest thing to make, but it's really good and it's really one of those things that I like to eat when I want to indulge. It's not your traditional Italian pasta, but don't mock it until you try it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this recipe. First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and boil some pasta. My pasta choice is actually Paccheri, and I'm gonna go ahead and zoom it over here. And what's great about it is that these holes are gonna capture a lot of the sauce and a lot of the crab. So it's just gonna be really, really good. You also can use any pasta that you like. I've tried it with spaghetti. I also tried it with some linguine. So let's go ahead and cook this pasta. So the first thing I wanna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that this is adequately salted. And so just a heaping amount of salt, really. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. And then I'm also just gonna go ahead and cook this according to package instructions, which in this case, it's 14 minutes until it's al dente. So let's go ahead and cook it that way. All right. Alexa, timer for 14 minutes. All right, so you just want to make sure that you occasionally stir this to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and make the sauce. Let's start with some oil. And this is already a preheated wok, so it's really already hot. And then I'm just gonna add some oil. Then I also chop some minced onions and some minced garlic. All right, so we'll start with the onions. And you just wanna cook this until it's translucent. It smells so good, guys. I've also tried this recipe with just using garlic, and that's also really good. So if you don't like oniony flavor, you can also skip just putting the onions as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add some garlic. Halo-halo lang jud mo dira, guys. Just go ahead and mix it. I haven't added anything. I just added the oil, onions, and garlic because the crab paste is really gonna be spicy. And I also am gonna add some spice as well. So you wanna make sure that it's not too salty as the end product. So I really wanna season it later. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some crab paste, or it's called taba ng talangka, also in Tagalog. And this is gonna be the base for this pasta. If you haven't tried it before, it's really pungent when it comes to like the seafood taste. A lot of people enjoy it. They want it more creamy. Because of that, a lot of the dishes that are aligue based have some cream on it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 can, the crab paste. If I can open it, there you go. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just dump the whole thing in here. So good, guys, it smells so good. Okay, so I just wanna cook this down. This is already ready, honestly, but I just want to make sure that it's warmed up and so that the flavors also, you know, gets incorporated with all of the other ingredients here. So as you can see, it's thick, so we're gonna thin it out just a little bit as well. Like I said, cook it down for just a couple more minutes before I add the rest of the ingredients. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add some gochujang. So this one is gonna be optional. If you don't want it spicy, you don't have to add this, but I feel like it's really, really good with the crab paste. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some gochujang. Or honestly, if you don't have access to gochujang, you can use any spice that you want. Like if you can, you know, you can also use red pepper flakes, or you can also just use Thai chilies as well if you want that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and thin this out now. And what's gonna help with that is all-purpose cream or table cream. So we don't have all-purpose cream here in the US, but we do have some table cream. And you know, this is what I'm gonna use. So you'll see, this is just cream. You can also use heavy cream if you want, but this is just really more reminiscent of home. So I'm gonna go ahead and use table cream. So just dump the whole thing in there as well. All right. And go ahead and mix it all together. So you want to make sure that while you're doing this, you're checking on your pasta to make sure that it's not sticking at the bottom and that, you're checking on it as well. But guys, this smells so good already. Okay. Whew. Yeah, like this is really not one of those things that you want to make if you're on a diet. But like I said, it's one of those things that I really enjoy making if you really want to indulge yourself with this. Okay, so now, as you can see, it is a lot thinner than how it used to be earlier when I was just putting the crab paste. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put all of the seafood into here. So what I do have is I have some crab claw. This was on sale at my local grocery store. And you don't have to use this brand, it's not sponsored. But I do like using the claw of the crab because it just adds more flavor than the actual meat. So yeah, I have 2 cans. So it's 8 ounces. So it's gonna be a total of 16 ounces, which I'm gonna go ahead and put. Again, this is already cooked. So you really just wanna warm it up and just kind of, let it mix with all of the other ingredients in here. And I also have this from my local Asian market. And this is just imitation crab claw, which I feel like it's gonna look great. It's really more of an aesthetic. You don't really have to add this if you don't have access to it, but hey, I do. And so I wanted to add this as well because it's just gonna make my pasta look really good as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the crab claws in here just to heat it up because this is still too thick. I already put the fire into low. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this all together. And don't worry if it still is too thick for you because we can always add the pasta water and that is going to go ahead and thin this out as well. So I actually forgot to add some cheese as well. Some people, they like to add some cheddar, but I really don't want to do that or try to use something that is strong. I think what works well is mascarpone cheese because it's mild and it's creamy, and it also doesn't take away from the flavor from the crab paste. That's what I prefer to use, and trust me, it's gonna be really, really good. You're supposed to actually add it before you add the meats, but you know what? Look, this thing happens. So don't worry about it. You can just always add it later. And finally, I'm gonna go ahead and add the imitation crab claw. See? And so I also want to add some butter because the butter also just helps it be more creamy and it just adds another depth of flavor as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and add that. And it's just gonna melt in the sauce as well, okay? So yeah, when we put the hot pasta in here with some pasta water, it's just gonna be more thinned out. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let's just make sure that this is all incorporated. All right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bring my pasta, which is now done, and incorporate it into the sauce. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pasta. And don't worry if you add some of the pasta water here as well. The starch, that is in the water is just gonna help add more flavor into this pasta dish. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now we're just gonna mix all of this together. Guys, I wish you can smell this. It smells really, really good. Guys, okay, all right. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and plate it. This is thin enough for me. I still kind of want the consistency to be just a little bit thick. But look, you can add more pasta water if you want. but this is great. Okay, so let's go ahead and plate. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and finish it with some chives, just for some greenery, okay? You can also just add this into the actual pasta itself and the wok, but I just wanted to finish it right here. So there you have it. This is my version of an aligue pasta. Okay, let's go ahead and try it. Guys, ambot na lang yun, guys. The combination of the actual crab claw as well as the imitation crab claw and the creamy sauce with the al dente pasta, it's really, really good. Lamay jud kayo, guys. If you like this video, I also have some other pasta recipes. I do have Filipino-style spaghetti or adobong pusit with squid ink pasta, and you can watch them right here. Until next time, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye!